spot on an hour as we started. I'm covered in dough. Oh. Right, hang on. Just come and get it. Oh, I love the effect on the wall. Do you want to take a picture of that before you have? Some slappy feet there. Here we go.
God, this feels like a marathon, you know.
This is yeah, right, we're back, so I suppose now we've got to wait for folk to jump on in.
Ooh, I didn't realise we had sweet cinnamon.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet cinnamon.
We could do like big fish.
Oh, hang on, yeah. So it's big fish. Oh, I need to
yes.
Big fish.
Yeah, big fish. Watching it with the delay is really disorienting.
It is, isn't it?
Ooh! What is sweet cinnamon? It's a good question, I don't know, but you can get it from Tesco.
You can get it from Tesco. Yeah, look at. Hang on, we'll do it again. There's a time delay. Hang on, I'm going to follow Mrs. L rather than try and watch.
Okay, let's start with big fish.
Start with big.
You still. You should have done clapping games because you can't do those.
Oh, hang on. Do you want to do the clapping game? I can't do the clapping game. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Do you want? I can do it from here. I'll try and do it with you. Hang on. Right. So it's. It's the first one. Hang on.
Okay, here
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no!
See.
Hang on.
I think any cinnamon, to be honest, will be perfectly fine.
Yeah. Sorry, music's a bit loud. Wait a sec. Little background music. Let's turn that down.
Let me see.
Yeah, and hello, how's it going? I only saw it with the covering of the tea towel on it. How does it look? Because I will show you. Ours has doubled in size, just about. To keep the cling film, reuse it if I can.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet cinnamon.
So welcome back, everybody, and see, unfortunately, we can never tell because in the bottom left of my phone it always says not exactly double. Well, I'll tell you what. Do you want to leave it? I'll show you ours before it went in. So we've got to about that. Do you need a bit longer on yours? Do you think? 'Cause you can always give it, say, another. If it wasn't warm enough, say give it another 20 minutes and see if that does the trick.
Or 10. Oh, that smells good.
It's about there, you think? Right, I'll tell you what. Just give it 10 minutes because we can carry on. Right, I'll show you what to do then, because then I'm going to get on to the second one we're going to do with the cinnamon. So this bit is the easiest bit of the whole thing, and it's one of the most therapeutic. I'm going to just check we are at the. You uncover the dough, and you punch it. And that's literally, you're just knocking a bit of the air out.
How long do you punch it for?
Just a couple of punches, just give it a bit of a biff. And then what we want to do is effectively half it. So we're going to scoop this out. Do I have a scoop? Where's my favourite spatula? Oh, I'm not. That's right. Got a good flat edge. Actually, I should be testing the new wooden ones, shouldn't I?
Well, they're there.
They're there. Right, let's have a look at the wooden ones. Because we got brand new wooden spatulas and things, so I want to just see what's got a good scooping edge.
That one.
This one.
Yeah.
Let's try this. So we're going to just ease it out the bowl, and for the most part, gravity can do a lot of the work. So all I'm doing here is I'm just touching, easing around the sides just to start with, and then in very graceful fashion. Let's just turn the angle down a bit. There we go. And it's camera shy. It's camera shy. I just didn't want to come out. Right, hang on. Let's deploy another technique, which is slightly turning the spatula as we go in twisting motion. So in fact, let me just turn it. Oh, I've turned the lights off. Sorry, we're going to turn the light again. So I'm just ease it out the bowl onto our work surface or our chopping board. Having given it a couple of punches, knock a bit of the air out. As you can see there shouldn't really be much left. So I'm going to actually just take whatever is left, try and get it out. Is your cup of coffee hot this time? Mm-hmm. Good, marvellous. So, once we've got it out, we are then, and this is why I quite like this chopping board, is because you've got the rings of size of cake. So I actually have got them the measurements up the sides and along the top, so I can see that I'm at the 2-inch and the 9-inch. So I'll just walk my way into the middle, so I can see there's about halfway. If you want to get really exact, of course, you can actually get the scales back out, but you can eyeball half of the dough. And again, the dough is just being a little bit shy because it knows it's on camera, so it's just not quite coming apart in an even half. And we had a lot of nice. Thank you very much for helping work out how to raid people. Had some nice fun watching someone else in deep space harvesting a various thing here and there. So here we now have our half of dough and our second half. Actually, at this point we might want to even deploy. That was actually really good as an edge to get out the bowl.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did you prefer your normal one?
No, and I think we need to stop using it because it is breaking into pieces. Then what we want to do is, I'm going to go slowly because I know you guys are still waiting a little bit. Once you've tipped it out, re-clean the bowl very quickly. Just going to
Did you do that? I don't remember us doing that.
I did, yeah. So just give it a quick scrub. Slightly better scrub than that. There we are. Because we're then going to just separate them into two. So that's, we've got bowl number 1 and bowl number 2. Bowl here. Bowl harder, if we go by Die Hard references. I've gone mad. Where's the butter gone that I left out?
It's here. It's on this side. It should be near that bowl. That's where I put it. So if you've moved it.
I have moved it because I'm a fool. Here we go. Butter. I'm foolish.
Did you throw away the thing we used? Or was it all balled up? It wasn't balled up before.
Oh. Let's just be safe rather than sorry then. Let's use a fresh piece.
And then keep it because you need to put the other 2 bowls.
Yes. I'm going to keep this to one side. So I'm dying to see your efforts on social media, guys. I really want to see how it's turned out. So I'm just going to quickly butter the inside of our now 2 bowls. We've already done the first one, but I'm being generous here, so I'm just going to give it a bit more. So just buttering the second. And then, if you remember, we demonstrated very briefly the seaming technique. So I'm just going to move this back so you can see down towards the counter. So starting with this one, I'm going to turn in to create a seam, which is going to become the base of this one. And then I'm going to just tease this off as best as I can. Try not to leave anything behind, because then in a fairly fluid motion, we got 1, 2, 3, come on, off you come. Dough being shy, and into our bowl to form a nice little ball. Well set into that.
There's new cozy day.
Oh, there's a new vlog for you to watch. Jolly good. So here we go. In fact, spatula was good for getting it out the bowl for sure, but I think for getting things off surfaces, you can't really go, this is my favoured tool. I suppose. Mrs. Al may disappear for a little while to go and watch some...
Oh, and I'll stay here.
No, of course you can.
Oh, if not, I'm covered down in our pool.
Do you want me to fetch it for you?
No, I'll love it.
So there we go. I've made a bit of a pig's ear of that, but the fact is they are now both in their respective bowls, ready for a second prove. Now, I think you guys are the only guys who've come back so far. Maybe everyone else has abandoned ship. Maybe it got too difficult. How are you getting on? Have you got it out of the bowl? Is it looking all right? Because now we're going to cover them up again and pop them back. You're just splitting them up. Jolly good. Right. So once you've split them, give the seaming a go, just bringing it in on all corners, and then either with a knife or something at a thin edge, scoop, and then you want back into your two separate bowls, as so. So there's my bowl number 1. Here's my bowl number 2, for reasons that will become all explained. And this needs to be done for about 15 to 17 minutes. And I'm going to hazard a guess, if you needed a little bit longer, it will probably be about 20 to 23, maybe. So we're going to go and pop these back over in our hotspot, which is over here. Very exciting. Hey, there we go. Now, hello Alice, how are you? You've caught us in the middle of part 2 of the baking. Is by any chance Andrula still with you? Everyone is full. Is he there? Is everyone still at your abode? Do you want to bring him in front of the screen for a second? He's here. Andrulas, for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Andrulas. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip. Hey! Bellissimo. Bene. We'll give you a video call later. I'm glad you are full, as one would expect. Now, oh, hang on, time for 15 to 17 minutes. Before we forget. Right, for those who are following on with the recipe, oh, jolly good, my nieces enjoyed it. Hello, Hannah. Hello Eva. NWKB, what we're going to do is turn our oven, if you've got a fan assisted oven, 175 degrees. Celsius, thank you. Before we barbecue our loaves. 175 degrees C in a fan assisted oven. And whilst that's going on, I'm going to leap back in a step back because we have done our second batch of Korean milk bread to test out the cinnamon. So this will now overlap with our project. And Alice, lovely to have you here for as long as you can stay with us. It will be mightily appreciated. Even if you just leave us on your screen, we will shout at you occasionally in nice ways. So I'm going to quickly mix in the butter. Just a quick mix in the bowl, which is what we were contemplating was perhaps what I'd done differently last time, because Mrs. Howe was saying that I hadn't in fact just put the butter on top and then kneaded. I think this is what I might have done, so we'll see if that makes much of a difference. And I can see, I can't access it right now because the NWKB has sent me a photograph. Cannot wait to see how it looks. But we're going to just, rather than sign off and sign on again, because that might confuse Twitch, we're going to hope some other people will join us, help us with our viewership, and I will chat to anyone who's here as I get out of breath whilst kneading bread. So, as you remember, this is where we were in the first part of the stream even, so we're going to turn this out. That's our mix that now needs to be kneaded for 10 minutes. Hang on, I think I can see, it looks small, but it might be the size of the bowl. Judging by the size of bowl that you had, that I saw in the last picture, I think you'll be absolutely fine. Because if there's anything,
it doesn't really grow that much nowadays.
No, it doesn't grow massively. It's not like, for example, you've seen the pictures I put online where we do the normal bread. It's not like that. It doesn't explode over the top. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't check it for you because we're on the phone. So I'm just going to wash this in preparation.
Is there a way that I can see it? Is there a way I can see it?
Oh, actually, if you went up onto my computer and looked at my Instagram, I suppose.
Or is it easy to do in a poll?
Hmm?
Is it easy to do in a poll?
Yeah, to see, just to have a look at the photograph. Right. We've come up with a plan B. Mrs. Owl is going to go up to my desktop and have a look and see where you're up to, NWKB. And Julia, of course. I'm very excited to see how this turns out for you. I really am. Fingers crossed it goes well. Here we are. Right. So I've got 13 minutes, so I'm going to be kneading until 3 minutes in. Here we go. So, it's like deja vu this, we're back again. I've got my dough scraper. And Alice, who I'm sure will be looking at my technique with horror, thinking, where on earth did you learn to do it like that? So we're going to have 10 minutes on our first dough. And then, have you guys decided, by the way, are you going to go for cinnamon, or are you going to try plain first of all? What are you thinking? Yes, there we go. I should have typed the description of this as ASMR. We would like cinnamon. Good, right, I will show you how to do it. I can't promise how it will taste is the only thing, because this will be the first time we've done it too.
I think it's comparable. I took a photo.
You're taking a photo, right. Mrs. Owl is going to come and show me a photo of your Instagram picture.
I think that's
Yes.
comparable to ours, right?
That looks absolutely comparable to ours, guys. That looks spot on. So that, I think you'll need to leave for, probably with your heat, at least 20, probably 25 minutes.
Oh my god,
But it's
you're creating chaos. Stop piling stuff on
Sorry,
here.
I held it out the way.
Out the way is over there.
But actually, can I have that later? Thank you.
Because you're getting dough everywhere. Are you going to be using these?
Probably not, no. So let's just keep that.
Stress me out.
There we go. Things on our camera angle look huge. That's what I rely on, Hancock. That's what I rely on, guys. Come on.
Oh my god, how is everything so soaking wet? What have you done with this?
I've washed things. Oh dear.
Oh my god, this one's soaking. I don't think we can use these ones now.
We need new ones.
Can I reach down to you?
I can. I'm going to block the camera view so Mrs. Owl's privacy is not a. Teamwork, ladies and gentlemen. There we go.
Oh, do you not think that the milk needed to live in the fridge?
I may have forgotten to put it back. We are, however, going to need the milk again, but not in as drastic a way as before.
Well, not almond milk.
Oh no, not almond milk. That was for your coffee.
I don't know where the other milk is.
Oh. So that's honey and yes. You could definitely do it with cinnamon sugar. I'm contemplating drizzling just a little bit of honey. Onto. Okay, Mrs. L doesn't want that, so.
I don't think you can like mix the two. I think you either do honey or you do cinnamon sugar.
In that case, we will try cinnamon sugar and maybe honey was something we'll experiment in the future because the guys want to try cinnamon.
Because you have to be careful about the liquid balance.
You do indeed. That was deliberate. Mrs. L scratching my arm.
It wasn't.
I know. Don't think you do that deliberately. So, in that case, yes, that will throw in the making of some cinnamon sugar. And we've thrown in a quick happy birthday song to Androulas, whose birthday is today, and sadly we cannot see him because of COVID-based reasons. But I understand he's having a lovely time with it. I'll have a chat with him later on. There we go.
Did you time in the 10 minutes for this?
I have to get to 3 minutes on the cooker and then I'm done. Did you guys enjoy our little hosting? Thank you very much for directing me. It's very relaxed gaming style. Rather enjoyed it. Yeah. I'm back to sweating cobs again. I don't know where that saying comes from, you know.
Sounds northern.
Yeah, if the thing is, it's one of those interesting things, isn't it? You can go. The rules are dreadfully unclear. You hopped onto a bit of Overcooked 2. Don't blame you. We are going to buy that. I may even have to be held back from buying it today.
How much is it?
Yes, how much is it, guys? Yes, yeah. Do go and socialise, but don't go and socialise. But if you do go and socialise, make sure you do it in a COVID-19 safe way. What does that mean? Well, we can't tell you exactly. You're allowed to go into pubs and drink, provided you wear a face mask. But how do we drink past the face mask? That's a good question. You have to do it in a COVID-19 safe way. That's impossible. And as they would say in the daily briefings, that is an excellent question. And I'm glad you've asked that. And now I'm not going to answer the question. Oh dear. Politicians' answers. We will speak for a long time and say absolutely nothing. Oh, so it's got part of the Game Pass. And it's on Steam at 40%. Ooh. A mutual ooh has erupted from us. Because we have to beat Overcooked 1.
Yeah.
But definitely I think Overcooked 2 is going to feature in the near future. We're going to have to train our hands so we don't get cramp again. I have a feeling it's 12, is that it? £12? Gosh, that's nothing.
Yeah, say 40% on Overcooked 2 on Steam.
Well, that's a deal. That is a deal. Yep, Mrs. Owl has looked. That is going to happen.
Oh, so yeah, special. You can get it for $11.99, but you can buy Overcooked 2 Gourmet Edition.
Ooh, the gourmet. Do you know?
Includes Overcooked 2, Too Many Cooks pack, Overcooked 2 Surf and Turf, Overcooked 2 Season Pass. I don't know what those things are.
And how much is that?
That's 21.36, put down from 41.56.
Wowza. Woohoo. Right. So is your oven heating up, guys? Because we need you to be at about 175 degrees Celsius in a fan assist. You can buy it from $8.79 online for Steam. Wow. Super duper.
Oh, so with the additional packs, you get the surf and turf pack where you go to,
Oops.
you go and you can make kebab skewers and smoothies. And then there's a campfire cook-off. You do s'mores.
Really?
Yeah. You need to chop wood to keep the fires burning.
Oh, wow.
As you fry up a breakfast or toast some s'mores. It costs 15 new levels. I think we should get the bigger pack because we enjoy it so much that, like, so the Surf and Turf has 12 new levels. Campfire has 15 new levels.
Oh, the guys, they were playing the Christmas edition. Okay, yes, I think the bumper pack will be called for.
Yeah.
And a lot of training on avoiding hand cramp. This'll do. Whoops. Ah, dear. So once you've got your Korean loaves, guys, what's the plan for the rest of the day for you? There's a Christmas edition on it, episode. The oven is on. Good, 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 good. Apart from enjoying the fruits of your labour, you got plans you're going to be on yourselves later? Okay, trying to keep it neat this time. Rather than my tendency to simply spread everything everywhere. And the moment I looked away from my board, I spread everything everywhere. Oh, and the coffee machine's turned off. There we go. Right, 38 seconds. Ooh. Probably was stream. Jolly good. What's likely on the cards tonight? I think we will probably have an evening after these three of we shall perhaps enjoy watching others. I think I might have to do a little bit of paperwork, sadly, before tomorrow morning whips around. But apart from that, I think we'll have a light dinner of the gourmet sliders we made. No, I think we shall relax and enjoy the fruits of others' labours. He says, panting desperately as the dough making nearly defeats him. In fact, we've only got 2 minutes 47 to go. Hope. Eat the whole loaf. I like your plan. Just eat the loaf. Eat it whole. It's a jolly good plan, that. Right, that's me over the 3-minute mark. So let's get this one together. Whip that up and into our bowl for an hour's proof. See if I can just get all of this off my hands. As much as possible. Nathan is playing Apex. He needs to train for the he has a team. I didn't realise that. He played in an Apex team. Goodness gracious. I'll be honest, anyone who asked me to be a part of their team had best be prepared for abject failure, unfortunately. But apart from that, I must admit, he plays for the Wicked Wolves. Oh, I say. Well, bravo. Bravo to Nathan. How super. I hadn't actually realised it was almost sort of competitive. I just thought he was rather good. Just didn't think of anything of it after that. Right, okay, so, as you've seen before, buttered bowl, creating a mess everywhere. most games like that of competitive, I think it demonstrates the two levels at which we are talking about first-person shooting gaming. I fall into the end. I do remember enjoying, I think, was it Want to Join with Commentary? It have one player that's just sort of speaking on the all-you-can-speak chat saying, I say, there's a fellow, he's going around the oogly boogly bend, he seems to have picked up a dibble. How far can he throw his dibble? Well, not far enough when the enemy takes aim and eliminates him at a far distance. Poor fellow, taken out by a marksman supreme. Who knows what I'm talking about at this point? And that's the whole point, neither will the enemy, they won't have a clue. So, 15 seconds to go, so I'm going to go put that and take ours back, and just if they're done. Bear with me a moment. And there we go. Yes, was anything I said vaguely Apex-like, or have I just totally guessed at this point? I'm going to assume guesswork has taken place. Right, so this is the next step. So I'm going to just take this away for now. Don't quite need a scraper. There we go. So I'm afraid I can't see if it's anyone but us, but apart from Nathan, Julia, and ourselves. But if anyone else is following along and needs me to slow down, just send me a message, because we've now got to the point where our two have proved for a second time. And having said to Mrs. Owl, I didn't need those items. I do in fact need those items because I'm a pillock. There we go. There we go. So, oh, it would help. I plugged in my phone to charge and then forgot to turn it on at the wall. That's stupid. So, what we're going to do is we're going to turn out each one. These are actually falling out now rather than anything else, which is a good sign. So I'm sorry about the poor camera work there. This is where this is quite fun. It's almost creative, actually. So there we go. That's number one. What we now need is to take our rolling pin, and we are going to essentially, in fact actually what we should do first, missed a step there, come back a moment, ignore the thing I just did. What do you want to do first is lightly sprinkle, and very likely only, sprinkle your chopping board or your work surface. This is just the first one. You'll do the same with each one. So I'm going slowly, but I'll be repeating it in a moment. This is just number one. And we're going to do the same with our rolling pin. So take your rolling pin and, in a hopefully non-suggestive manner, lightly flour your rolling pin. Now, we are going to gently roll in each direction, because what we want is a rectangle. So moving from left to right, and if your dough gets stuck, feel free just to put a bit more flour on the pin. And what we're looking for is something that's about 12 inches long and 5 inches deep, which is why I like this one so much, is that you can actually measure what you're doing. Take it nice and slowly, there's no rush. So I've got mine there to actually about, because of where it landed on the board, it's about 13 inches along, so I want to get it to the 1 inch on the other side. So gently does it, just ease it along. Try and get it as rectangle. If you can't get a perfect rectangle, This isn't the Great British whatever or MasterChef here, there, and wherever. No one's going to mind. Just try and get it as close as possible. So just gently rolling, because gravity will do the work. You don't really. I'm literally almost holding it at the end and just running forward. I'm not actually applying pressure in any real regard. So up to 13 inches. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 5 inches. Again, close enough. Whoops, Daisy, you see that? It's just stuck just a little bit. So just lift it off. Grab yourself a bit more flour. And then we've got ourselves our rectangle. Now, this is the point, guys. I will be doing this with the next one, but I'm just going to show you the technique, because the technique's the key bit here. What you want to do, I'm just checking my own guidance here, kindly written by Mrs. L. You want to take from the top about 3 inches. So, in short, we're trying to make a log. So, because it's about 5 inches deep, I'm going to grab my dough scraper again, or your flat knife, just because if it's sticking just a little bit, you can just ease it off. So, because what we want to make is a square. So, ultimately, in fact, I'll do it this side first. So, just take the first 3 inches, so for me between 13 and 10, so about there, and I'm just going to roll it up gently. And do the same again. This side. And there we have, lift it slightly, little square parcel of our dough. From here, what we would like to do is roll it into basically a log. So, what you can helpfully do here is check against the tin that you're going to use. So, I can see, for example, I've got this tin, so if I roll it from there through to here, I'm going to get a log that will hopefully sit halfway along quite neatly. If yours is a slightly different shape of tin, you might want to roll it a bit thinner or a bit thicker. However, for the cinnamon sugar, the point that I'd like you to put it on, and we'll do a mix, it's ineffectively, I will find the mix for you and send it to you. But as I remember it, it's about 50 grams worth of, I'd use Demerara personally. Would you use Demerara, love? For cinnamon sugar?
Yeah.
So mix your Demerara.
Brown sugar.
Yeah, mix a brown sugar, coconut sugar we've done before, which has worked well enough.
Which is probably what we're going to have to use.
Yeah, we have got some Demerara, but
Only a bit.
And then mix it with your sugar. And honestly, I would just use a taste test as you're going along. Start with a tablespoon, mix it in, see if it's the right kind of strength of cinnamon. And then, before you do this fold, I want you to scatter it across the top. Pat it down gently, then fold the two sides in. Okay? That hopefully made sense, rather than me just rambling. So from here, however, what I'm going to do is roll. So I get myself a little log. I'm going to just use the thin end here, scrape up. So, hello.
You never told me the stone was over here proving. I've not been timing it.
Oh, that's the main batch, yeah. How many grams of sugar? I tell you what, you could work it up. If you start with 20 grams, I think, and use a teaspoon for the cinnamon, mix it, and then taste it for your own taste balance. See whether or not it's strong enough for you, whether or not you want a bit to add a bit more sugar to cinnamon ratio if you want it a bit sweeter. Time for 45 minutes. So I'm just going to quickly grease the inside of our loaf tin. So where are you guys up to now? So I appreciate it was a couple of steps ahead whilst we were proving. Where are we now? How are we doing? How are we getting along? Because we've got our log now here. I'm just going to, and then just show.
Are you going to do it the right way around?
I'm going to try. Because that's laying it lengthways, isn't it? Like that.
Is that just one half of it?
That's one half.
Aren't you to fold it in half and then put it at one end?
There's no, I tell you what, there's no actual instructions to fold and put it at one end, but I'm going to.
Is.
Hang on.
Don't tell me.
Oh, hang on, it says look. Pick up log and nestle down near one end of the loaf pan. Making the sugar. Jolly good.
Yeah, so like fold that in half.
Okay.
Legit, fold it in half.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the...
And then put it downwards, so that's at the top.
Okay, so fold in half and then put this bit
the
straight
bottom.
down into the tin. The reason I defer to Mrs. Owl is because she's actually seen a video of this being made as well. So, when it says nestle, or rather when I say nestle, just get it to fill the far end of the tin. So then, you've got the fold facing down, which will mean your sugar is on the inside, which will hopefully mean when you cut down, you'll get a nice swirl in the middle. So I'm just going to shake
Maybe
it.
they do it the other way. I don't know. But either way, this should be at the top, but maybe it should be in the other way.
Right, so I'm going to do the other one now. I'm going to need to include that into the actual... Because I think that's right, and I think that they missed that out on the recipe that we found.
They shouldn't say that.
You've noted it down verbatim, it wasn't there. Here we go. Right, here's
Are you
number 2.
intending to keep these?
Yes, I am. So, then we're going to repeat with number 2. And in fact, I've realised we don't need both serving bowls, do we? Because now we can use one of these.
So do you want me to just leave them as they are, or wash them, or what?
Wash that one, I think, and we'll keep the bottom.
Why would we keep...
Because I'm going to split that one into
Oh,
2.
you keep this one?
Yes, keep that one. Right. Jolly good. Right, so I'm going to quickly repeat again. No, I'm not, because I forgot my flour again. Hang on a minute. Something about the bridges of Paris.
Only a light amount.
Yes. More on the rolling pin than on the board, to be honest. Because that's where it will stick the most. Right. So, and repeat for number 2. There we are. But it looks like you're making I can't speak anymore. Fantastic progress based on the pictures you've sent to us. I'm really, really pleased for it. It looks like it's going superbly. And our second one, when it comes through, we will do with cinnamon sugar. And we'll see how we get along. There we go. This one's a bit stickier than the first one, actually, so just tease it along. There we go. There we go. So I'm sticking again, so again don't be too afraid with the flour to get it loose, but if you use too much it might make it a little bit thick, so try and use sparingly, but at the same time don't be afraid of it, if that makes sense. So you're watching for a second time to get the first right. Absolutely right, I will take it slowly, right. So, just a little bit of flour. I'm going to roll until we've got our dimensions just so. This one is definitely stickier than our first one. Right, at this stage, you missed with the foot, right, okay. So here, get your sugar spread evenly across the top. Then take your knife or the sharp edge, once you've got that, and look to about, say, 2 to 3 inches from the far right and the far left. Gently lift the base and fold in for about 3 inches worth, because then it'll be 1.5 folded over 1.5. And then gently repeat on the other side. And what you'll end up with is, in effect, a square. Not in effect, actually, in actuality, it's a square. So you should have some sugar under there, some sugar under there. We've now got our square. And then what we want to do is take either end, is fine. I hold the finger down, but we're then going to roll it gently into a log. So it's almost like a Swiss roll. It's quite sticky, this one, compared to the other one, but that's the ins and outs of baking for you. Then take the far end, the end, either end, and fold it over itself. And then lift and place with the folds at the base of the tin and allow it to drop. And then we want it nestling as far into the corners of our buttered tin as we can go.
They should hopefully meet when they prove.
Exactly, because they're going to prove again and then they'll meet in the middle is the idea. So they should look a little something like that. Okay. So I'm going to cover this again. Now the covering tip here isn't time based, in fact. What it is until they've met and risen to the edges of the pan.
But it says it does either time for 30 to 40 minutes.
Yes.
So it may take that long.
It may do. It may take a bit longer. How are you guys getting along?
It's not sealed because it's old.
I'll see it. Yeah. Just folding now, jolly good. Right, so now we shall get this over to our warm spot.
Are you going to time that one then?
Yeah.
I'm timing the main one.
You got the main one.
No, what you going to do with it?
I think we're going to have to break it and call part 3. We'll just make sure the guys are there and then we'll call it part 3. Actually, I may have turned on the oven too soon. So I have a feeling, chaps, that you are our last people standing. So you let me know when you're ready and you've got things sorted. In fact, whilst we're doing that, there's some ringside washing up, why not? Hello, chaps. First one's done. Righty-ho. Jolly, jolly good.
I feel like this is going to be a disaster.
It's not going to be a disaster, no. The guys have followed it perfectly.
No, for us.
Oh, for us, no, it'll be fine. You were helping out. Quality television viewing for anyone who's joining. Come and join us whilst we do the washing.
I feel like you did the rolling wrong with that.
Really?
Yes, it says fold up the top and the bottom and then roll from the right. But you fold it from the side and the side and then roll from the right. So it's all rolled in one direction.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll try it a different way with the next one. Yes, I am reading the instructions, Kev. I promise. I am. in the same way that I am well prepared for overcooked. I'm suddenly having these images of when I was just producing tons of tomatoes for no good reason. There we go.
34 minutes left on the other one.
Jolly D.
So they'll both be ready at about the same time.
Ah, okay.
So one set obviously to go in the oven and then you can start working on it.
Ooh.
This is literally taken all day.
These loaves are worth it though. These loaves are worth it.
Oh, they're better than we haven't put up our picture or anything?
Don't worry, we will do all the things I promised.
No, we won't.
Yes, we will.
It looks rainy. Look, we've got like stormy now outside.
There we go. In for dramatic weather.
Did you have to like put to the loaf pan?
Yes,
Did you do that?
I did. And I mentioned it to the chaps too. Yes, it's a slightly, you can imagine people trawling through Twitch and they're seeing people performing valiantly on computer games and you see them doing magnificent works of art. I can give you washing up. Close and personal. Our other loaf tin as well whilst we're here. This is not sponsorship. This is just the way in which the board is being washed. How are we getting on, guys? First one done. Good, good, good. How's the second one coming along? Can we see the tin? No, we can definitely see the tin. We're proving it. It's not going straight in the oven yet. So, let me bring the tin back that we've got. Hang on, let's just... Ours is already starting to morph and grow. So here we go. Ours is already starting to prove and it'll expand towards each other. So it'll end up filling the entire tin up.
Make sure it's cooked. So this is why you should not use old things on. It doesn't clean.
I'll use a fresh one. Try not to wreck the house as I'm walking through. Nearly there. Jolly good. Because then we'll have, I think we'll take another break at that point because we've got we're coming up to the hour mark, I think. So we'll have another break, another pause, and then we'll do the last leg where we'll put them in the oven. We'll check everything's in order. And I think from there, we will wait to see the fruits of various labour on...
How long does it take to cook?
It takes to cook. I'm glad you asked that. He says, checking his book. It takes 35 to 36 minutes.
Okay.
It took me a minute to find that. Oh dear. Because I'm also mindful of the, as you guys know, the attempt to get towards the affiliate stages. I think because it's just us here, it might be impacting on various averages and numbers and things. And also, otherwise, I think you'll just be sat here for 20 minutes listening to me natter and watching my rolling pin. Which I appreciate. You've just covered it. Marvellous.
And then it's for 30 to 40 minutes.
Yes, you'll need it.
Until it reaches the top of the tin.
Yes. If you didn't hear Mrs. Owl there, it's 30 to 40 minutes or until it reaches the top of the tin. I strongly suspect it will be 40 minutes or closer to the 40-minute mark. But what I suppose we can do is you can always send us a message. I'll keep an eye on my phone. And when you're there, and when it's reached the top of the tin, you can, because it may be quicker than 40 minutes, but if it takes, say, 40 or 45, you can send us a message, and then I will restart and we will do the very last bit of the third stage. Because I can't see there's anyone else but us having a nice chin wag here. So I suggest maybe, yes, that's it. Once they've met in the middle and risen to the top of the tin, that's it. We've got it. Then I can talk us through just the last steps and get them in the oven for you. And then that's it, basically. Then they come out of the oven. You've got to let them cool quite a bit. And unlike normal bread, you've got to let it cool for a full hour once it's out of its tin. And that's because it's such a light consistency. If you do it any sooner, it'll collapse. So the actual time is 35-36 minutes cooking, 10 minutes of cooking in the tin once you've taken it out, and then you have to wait for a full hour. I know you have to exercise extreme patience before you taste its marvellous goodness. So I think that's possibly the best way forward. You guys send us a message. I will then rally whoever wants to come and watch the end of it through the various social medias. And then we will do the last steps, get it in the oven, and wish everyone a marvellous day. What do you think? Sound like a plan? I think it's a plan. I think we need teas and coffees and things, and I fancy a nice lolly, actually. Perfect. Right, in that case, guys, and anyone who has been quietly watching, I can't see you, unfortunately, but thank you very much. Welcome and goodbye to ASMR Washing Up. Slightly paddling in the lukewarm waters as though you've had a bath of milk. We're back to step one of the recipe. So we will wait for your message, and then we will be ready to help you on the last step. Right, guys, we will see you probably in about 45 minutes. So toodaloo from us. Bye for now.